Good afternoon and welcome. This is Alex Albritton, your host, and this is the Alex Albritton Show. Last week was our first show in 2.5 years, and I must say it felt a little rusty. But the rust is worn off now, and I'm back in the saddle. So buckle up, get ready for a long ride, because this is going to be a long one, I can tell you that for sure. Last night, I had the honor and the pleasure to be able to listen to Morgan Freeman for about 20 to 30 minutes. And he had some very particular words for this country, of which I happen to share. And he went on to say that basically this country has been thrown into a S-hole. And it's been referred to by people in the administration as just that. Whether it can be brought back up to normal or not, I don't have the answer. And I don't think he does either. But it's a difficult position that finds the United States in, because we've always been up top, first, always. It's never been a position like this for the United States of America. Our dollar has been affected. Our position in the world has been affected. We're in a bad spot. And nobody seems to care, except those of us who live in this country. I mean, really live in this country, day to day. I'll leave the criticism for you individually. But I have to tell you that I share his remarks. I do. And a lot of people don't even have the temerity to say that in public. Okay, I do. And it's going to take a lot of other people saying the same thing. I tell you, man, this keeps me up at night. I lose sleep. I'm nervous. Well, I was nervous until today. Because I thought about it and I realized that I don't have to be that way. I don't have to be nervous and afraid and all of that. Because I'm a child of God. Child of God. No matter what else happens, I have him on my side. That is for sure. And I hope you share that as well. You know, there was a remark made by the chief executive of this country about 2 weeks ago, referring to the city of Detroit. And it caused me to think back on some things that happened 20, 25, 30 years ago. And it caused me to realize one thing in particular. An election that took place in August of, well, it's been 25 years ago. I heard mention of a building that had been purchased by this administration in the United States. For what purpose, I don't know, but it was purchased. It's in the city of Romulus. What they're going to do with it, I don't know. I have no idea. But I thought about it, and the chief executive of Wayne County had to have control of that building at some point. The chief executive wouldn't be who he is now if it weren't for a very, very dirty election that took place on August 2nd, 2001. At 12:15 a.m. on that night, primary night, people went to bed thinking that the late, great Clyde Cleveland won that race for county executive. It was a shocker to a lot of people. Yours truly happened to have been very involved in that campaign. At quarter to 5 that same evening, abracadabra, lo and behold, guess what? The tide changed, and instead of Ed McNamara going to bed a loser, Ed McNamara went to bed a winner by some several thousand votes, called dirty politics. I hadn't thought about that in a long time. Dirty politics. Some of the people involved in that on the other side, if you will, were very involved in that race. I won't call their name because they're dead and gone on to glory. But Detroit is a real hot spot for dirty politics. Has been for a long time. I hope we can clean that up pretty quick. I no longer live in the city because I just got sick to death of it by sight and by sound, just sick to death of it. I mean, it was craziness. How could you go to bed at 12:15, 12:30 on primary night and wake up 4 hours, 5 hours later, the loser in that race? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But that's what happened. My late dad kidded me about that race. I was jumping up and down and screaming and so happy that Clyde Cleveland won that race. And he said, no, he won't be the winner. He knew something I didn't know. And some of those same kind of politics are being played around this country now. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. We can do better. We got a lot of work to do, and we better roll up our sleeves and get it done if we want to save this democracy. It's the only way it can be saved. Nobody's going to jump out of a helicopter or out of an airplane and come to save us. It's not going to happen that way. You can't sit on your tail and expect democracy to be saved by not being involved. You're going to have to roll up your sleeves and do something. No matter what it is, you're going to have to do something. Whether it's being in the street, being part of it, going door to door, whatever it is, you're going to have to roll up your sleeves and save this democracy that we have enjoyed and loved for so many years, because it's teetering on the brink. Teetering on the brink. How it got here, that's a story for another day. But it's here. And there'll be a lot more nights similar to what happened to Clyde Cleveland back in 2001 if we don't save it. It's ours to save. It's ours to save. We got a shot, a last shot. We better make it count. And it caused me to think, that same thought about August 2nd, 2001, caused me to think about other races in Detroit and elsewhere, in the city of Detroit. And there was a taint to those races as well. Some by the right, some by the left, but a taint nonetheless. Politics is a dirty, dirty game. It's not for the people. It's not for the folk who pay taxes. It's not for Mary and Joe. It's for a select few. A select few. I think about the late, great Ed Vaughn, former state representative Ed Vaughn. In '98, he ran against Wendell Anthony for the NAACP presidency. And some folks selected me to help run that race for Clyde. An absolute waste of time. Absolute waste of time. Because the powers that be, they were going to elect Wendell no matter what. And that's what they did. Those same people are sitting in those same seats today. You can't have vibrant, healthy organizations when you've got the same people running them for 25 years, 30 years. You can't do it. You've got to refresh. You have to refresh. That's what that's for. It's stagnant in this town called Detroit. It's stagnant in this country called the United States of America, and some changes need to be made. It remains to be seen if we have the balls to get it done. And if we have the balls to get it done, I want to be there. I want to see it happen. I really, really do. I want to see that happen. Because I can tell you this much. If it stays like it is, you'll be hell to pay. Speaking of which, what has the NAACP done for you lately? I know they were involved in the building of a new Kmart some 20, 25 years ago. And you should have seen them coming up there that day, the day of the grand opening. Wow. Wow. It was pathetic. You had those that supported the current president, Wendell Anthony, and that was a long time ago. On one side, then you had, on the other side, people who wanted to see change. Change used to happen every 2 or 3 years in the Detroit branch NAACP. Every 2 or 3 years. That's the way the branch had it done. They knew refresh had to occur often. There's nothing to mention about that's negative about the current chair or president. Nothing negative. It's just to say you've turned it into a business for yourself. And it's not meant to be a business for you. Now, look where we are now. Look where we are now. This is a time when the national branch really needs you. It is a time that people should be able to call on the NAACP and get help. What are they going to get now? What are they going to get? I ask the question. You know, some of that is the fault of us. We let that happen by apathy and other things. But don't you want to see something different? Don't you want to see a change? It's not meant to be the business of one person. It's not meant to be belong to one person. It's not meant to be that way. So stand up, make a change, and clean house. That's the only way you're ever going to get an NAACP, or for that matter, other organizations that are really for the people. It's the only way you're going to get it. Because as long as you just let it slide, you're going to get the same thing. I'm going to take the first break of this hour, and I hope you will stay with us. This is Alex Albritton, your host. It's a pleasure to be with you again. I spent 20 plus years in this market in radio, and it's a pleasure to be back with you. Although this is a different format, it's basically the same thing. So stay with us. I'll be back in about 60 seconds. Thank you for joining us.
Enjoying the Alex Albritton Show. We are currently on a short break, lasting approximately 1 minute. To make up for the time, we will be featuring a commercial from our CIS-AITSS video team. We'll see you soon. Welcome to the CIS-AITSS informational video. We will begin by exploring the different departments within CISA-ITSS, starting with CISA-ITSS Security. Next, we have CISA-ITSS Audio. Following audio, we introduce CISA-ITSS Visual. Finally, we have the CISA-ITSS Founders Division. CISA-ITSS Security is dedicated to safeguarding future CISA-ITSS properties and the broader online world. The founder works tirelessly to ensure individuals are protected from scams and malicious online elements. CISA-ITSS Audio provides professional-grade, third-party audio solutions, specializing in the founder's work for various media like podcasts and talk shows. We are committed to the highest quality professional standards. We're back from break. Please stand by for more of the Alex Albritton Show.
Thank you for staying with us. I'm Alex Albritton, your host, and this is the Alex Albritton Show. I'll be with you every Friday at 5 o'clock from 5 until 6. So whether you're on the way home or just lounging around, tune in for an hour, and hopefully you can get some information and something that will be useful for you for the upcoming week. I was talking before the break about the dirty politics that have been played in the city of Detroit and just how filthy, frankly, it's been. With two races in particular, that involved the late, great Clyde Cleveland in the race for county executive in 2001. And later in 1998, the race involving State Representative Ed Vaughn for the seat of president of the NAACP Detroit branch. And I was telling you about how for 25 years or more, the Reverend Wendell Anthony has sat in the seat of president. And I would submit to you and to anyone else willing to listen, it needs a change. Change is a good thing. Change is a good thing. And in Detroit, for whatever reason, this apathetic haze has come upon us, and we just sit around and just let it happen. There are other things too that we've done to cause it to happen to ourselves, but those two things in particular really grind me. They really do. Because what are you going to get right now if you call NAACP for help? Whether it's for a job or whether it's for DEI, what are you going to get? I would submit that what you should get is a real helping hand. What you should get, if you are in fact a member, is something different than what you've been getting for the past 25 years. Because you deserve that. And as it relates to the county executive, I have nothing whatsoever against Warren Evans as county executive. Nothing at all. But I got enough sense to know this, that sale for that land, whatever, out in Romulus, didn't happen without the nod from the county executive. Things just don't go that way. And if we had a county executive that was broad-shouldered and really about his or her business, it wouldn't be that way. Wouldn't be that way. I beg your pardon, hoping that you will forgive me. The phones that will take 22 calls should be installed shortly, where listeners can call and offer their opinion, questions for myself, or just comments. You will be able to share next week or shortly thereafter. That's this kind of show. And I want you to know that that's something that is missed sorely without the participation of the audience. You know, it's a talk program. That's what it is. We offer information, accurate information, we hope. And we're just a little tardy on the equipment for this program. Speaking of which, last week, my grandson made a remark about, what was that again, Caleb? Toward the end of the show?
ICE.
Yeah, well, I believe it was.
About the warrants.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't about that. It was about the Detroit police, as I recall.
Oh, the chief fired 2 officers for calling ICE on a traffic stop.
Really? And with the scenario that you offered turned out to be incorrect, and you want to correct that now? The scenario that you offered was incorrect, according to some of the listeners to the program. Did you want to correct that now?
I think what I said was accurate.
You stand by that?
Yep.
I don't know. I had two listeners that begged otherwise.
Fired or suspended.
Okay. We're going to check that and make sure that's, because I don't ever want to be in a position where we offer incorrect information and are not good enough to correct it. So we'll see. We'll see. I wanted people to know on the tail end of the Morgan Freeman interview last night, I agree with his position 100%. I think that Morgan Freeman is an outstanding actor. But his comments stood tall in this country. And there are a lot of people now who are afraid to mention a word about things they may feel a certain way about, one way or the other. But I happen to agree with what he said, and will say that to anybody, period. I will. We need people who will also stand up instead of being afraid to be counted. You shouldn't be afraid to voice your opinion in this country. He wasn't afraid. Those that came before him weren't afraid. I'm not afraid, and you shouldn't be afraid. You should not be afraid. Voice what you think and stand strong behind it. That's how we got where we are now. That's how we got it. There are some folk in the city of Detroit, and I speak to it because I spent so many years living there, was raised and grew up there, who are aggressive in placing their children into Renaissance or Cass Tech. And I want to mention, as we speak right now, if there are young people in this audience who wish to be a part of that and wish to pursue a spot at Renaissance, I urge you to make yourself known with your mother and father or legal guardian or whatever. Because now is the time that tests are taken, essays are written, the list is being compiled. If you want a shot at Renaissance or schools like it, make your position known and contact someone at DPS, like we did for my grandson. If you want to get the best out of your child or grandson or whoever, that's the place to put them. That's the place to place them. Not necessarily in a $20,000, $30,000 school per year. There's some fine learning institutions in Detroit. And Southfield. What's that, Caleb?
And surrounding cities.
And surrounding cities, that's true. But Detroit schools get such a bad rap. I think it's important to speak to their excellence, because they've been around a long time doing good work, and everybody doesn't have $30,000 plus to send their kid to a good school. Everybody doesn't have that kind of bank account. But this Renaissance in particular offers the best education for a fair dollar. So, make yourself known and contact the people at Renaissance and other Cast Tech. There's another one too, Caleb. What's the name of that one?
There is no other one if you're talking about in Detroit.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah. Well, if you want your child in a really good institution, give that a shot for sure. There were some other things I wanted to mention to you. ICE, yeah, ICE. ICE has been, for the past number of months, arresting people and detaining them or not. And we've been very fortunate in the state of Michigan. We have yet to be terrorized by them, I guess you could say. We've been very fortunate. But if you have yet to get your real ID, now's the time to do it, to correct it. Take the necessary steps. Get real ID so you don't have to go through that. Let me see your papers. Keep that ID on you at all times, and you'll be out of danger. You'll be out of danger. It's a little more expensive than the old identification of 10 years ago or whatever, but it's worth it so as not to be hassled by the authorities. Whether it's Detroit, Highland Park, Hamtramck, Wayne or Oakland County, wherever it is, have your paperwork ready when they ask for it, if they ask for it, if you encounter them. You can make this easy on yourself. As it relates to the arrest in the state of Michigan and surrounding areas, they continue to be a news item. They continue to be problematic with a lot of folks. I have yet to speak to anyone that is pleased with what has taken place over the past couple months. Nobody. But we, as a country, deserve better. We, as a democracy, deserve better. I don't see very many people, if any, out and about in the streets demanding better. If you want better, you have to demand it. You have to demand it. That's the only way it's going to happen. It seems as though these 80,000 people that were hired by this administration were hired, or they continue to be hired, for the purpose of detainment under circumstances that you might call different. I'll say that. Different. I looked at one of the commercials the other night, and it really sickened me at what I saw.
I'm Kenny Cunningham.
Beg your pardon? It sickened me at what I saw. They want people with certain backgrounds that are extremely to the left or to the right of center. And they don't be expected to give a break to anyone. There are a number of people, 5 that I can recall off the top of my head, that have lost their lives from encounters with ICE. There are more, I'm sure. Mr. Preddy and Miss Good are only 2 of numerous folk who have lost their lives from the other end of a gun, point blank. And the request to share information in those shootings has been denied by this government. Not a good look. Not a good look at all. So I don't know where we're going to go with that, but I know that the state's attorney general in Minnesota is a stand-up guy, and I know he won't quit until he gets a fair shake in that investigation. So we'll stay on top of it every week and see what happens. But so far, it's been turned down by the United States Attorney General. They won't allow the state of Minnesota to participate. I've never heard of a shooting like that, ever. Okay, we're going to take another break. Okay. This is Alex Albritton, your host. This is the Alex Albritton Show. I'm going to take a break and stay with us. We'll be back in about 60 seconds. So stay with us.
Enjoying the Alex Albritton Show. We are currently on a short break, lasting approximately 1 minute. To make up for the time, we will be featuring a commercial from our CIS-AITSS video team. We'll see you soon. Welcome to the CIS-AITSS informational video. We will begin by exploring the different departments within CISA-ITSS, starting with CISA-ITSS Security. Next, we have CISA-ITSS Audio. Following audio, we introduce CISA-ITSS Visual. Finally, we have the CISA-ITSS Founders Division. CISA-ITSS Security is dedicated to safeguarding future CISA-ITSS properties and the broader online world. The founder works tirelessly to ensure individuals are protected from scams and malicious online elements. CISA-ITSS Audio provides professional-grade, third-party audio solutions, specializing in the founder's work for various media like podcasts and talk shows. We are committed to the highest quality professional standards. We're back from break. Please stand by for more of the Alex Albritton Show.
Thank you for staying with us. I'm Alex Albritton, your host, and this is the Alex Albritton Show. During the break, my grandson caused me to stop for a minute and take a look at something that Fox 2 runs, and that will substantiate what he was sharing with us last week. So Caleb, go ahead and run that.
Okay. Let me pull up the video. 1 second, it's gonna show a black screen. Video's playing.
Is that playing for our audience?
Yep. And that's the end of the video.
Okay, so to refresh, what you allege that the chief of police in Detroit fired 2 of its officers
Right.
because of what?
What it seems to look like from the incident, a traffic stop on December 16th, 2025,
Mm-hmm.
ended up in Venezuelan national pulled over in downtown Detroit on Grasset. That the citizen was pulled over by Detroit police, and Detroit police could not identify the Venezuelan national, so the Venezuelan national ended up having to submit to Customs and Border Patrol because the officers called Customs and Border Patrol.
Really?
Because in the downtown area, Customs and Border Patrol has jurisdiction 100 miles from any border port.
What?
A law rule by DHS that's been going on for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
DHS has a 100-mile jurisdiction from the border.
Okay.
So from the Ambassador Bridge to the tunnel, and then 100-mile, anything within 100 miles of that, Customs and Border Patrol has jurisdiction over that. So one of the two, both of the officers called Customs and Border Patrol. Customs and Border Patrol took custody of the Venezuelan national, and now he is in immigration detention.
Wow. So one of our listeners, we'll call him Michael H., contends otherwise, that scenario didn't actually happen that way. And I'll discuss that with him later. But I guess that's proof in the pudding that it did, huh?
Fox covered it. Detroit police released a couple of statements. The chief spoke it on about a couple times. It's not like the situation didn't happen because body cam footage. Somebody made a FOIA request to the Detroit Police Department and got body cam footage from that incident.
Okay.
So the incident did happen, and those officers were terminated for 30 days without pay. And one of the 2 officers are suing the department for that payback. So it's not like the situation didn't happen, and the Venezuelan national is still in immigration detention. And that would not have happened if those 2 officers didn't call CBP. Bedison wanted the officers to be terminated from the department entirely, but all decisions go through Detroit Police Board of Commissioners, and commissioners voted unanimously to suspend the officers both for 30 days without pay.
They don't have trial board anymore?
That, I guess that'll be their, like, I want, like how the city of Southfield has the city council.
Right.
If the Southfield chief wanted to terminate an officer,
Mm-hmm.
it would go through them first. Detroit has a police board of commissioners.
They do.
All of the commissioners for all of the zones voted to suspend those officers
Mm-hmm.
for 30 days without pay.
Really?
And they're suing the department for that payback.
Mm.
They cannot, by the time they end up, because they were terminated on, let's pull that back up. She was suspended last week 30 days without pay.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say by April, both of the officers would be back working in the department.
Okay.
By the time they get done suing the department for that pay, they'll be working back within the department. So I don't think they're going to win that lawsuit because they only got suspended for. It will be different if they got terminated.
Okay. So in other words, they would be back on the job by now.
No, this was. Let me see when this was published. This was published on February 25th at 11:34. The news article says both of the officers were suspended last week for 30 days without pay. Fox 2 was told that it was 4 calling Border Patrol for the scene, and they took custody of the suspect.
It seems to me, having been born and raised in Detroit, that we have rapidly given up more and more, how can I say it, more and more authority in our own city.
So last week on February 25th, that would make Wednesday, February 18th, the day the officers got fired. So February 18th to March 18th, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 19 days suspended. They have left to be suspended, and then they'll be back.
Well, there you have it, and I will contact him at the conclusion of this program. Share that with him if he hasn't already heard it, and let him know that
Did indeed happen.
it did indeed happen that way. Yeah, we don't ever want to be curious or responsible for putting out information that's incorrect, and if we do happen to make a mistake with something, we want to be standing at the ready to correct it,
Right.
especially in these days and times. Okay?
Right. And Bedison said, after body cam footage was leaked Wednesday, I am saying it is a violation of policy for bias-based policing that says no officer should use differential treatment of individuals in the context of rendering police services based on a citizen's classification or the member's perception of any class or classification that includes race and ethnicity. The officer's lawyer, Solomon Radner, disagrees and now is filing a federal lawsuit against DPD for the violation of due process. He says absolutely no policy was violated whatsoever.
Well, I have nothing negative to offer about Chief Bedison. This is the first chief in, frankly, in years and years and years that I haven't known personally. But I'm making my business over the next week or two to introduce myself to him and speak with him about this incident, so we can get firsthand direct information about it, aside from what is there in the video. But we're going to take our last break of the show, and this is Alex Albritton, your host, and this is the Alex Albritton Show on a Friday afternoon at 6:57, and hope you join us. We'll be here every week at 5 o'clock, from 5 until 6. So please join us. And we'll be back in about 60 seconds.
Enjoying the Alex Albritton Show. We are currently on a short break, lasting approximately 1 minute. To make up for the time, we will be featuring a commercial from our CISAITSS video team. We'll see you soon. Welcome to the CISAITSS informational video. We will begin by exploring the different departments within CISA ITSS, starting with CISA ITSS Security. Next, we have CISA ITSS Audio. Following audio, we introduce CISA ITSS Visual. Finally, we have the CISA ITSS Founders Division. CISA ITSS Security is dedicated to safeguarding future CISA ITSS properties and the broader online world. The founder works tirelessly to ensure individuals are protected from scams and malicious online elements. CISA ITSS Audio provides professional-grade, third-party audio solutions, specializing in the founder's work for various media like podcasts and talk shows. We are committed to the highest quality professional standards. We're back from break. Please stand by for more of the Alex Albritton Show.
Welcome back. This is Alex Albritton, your host, and I am happy to be back with you on a Friday evening, early on a Friday night. It's a good time to join us if you like. And whether you're cooking in the kitchen, on the way home after a long week, join us. Join us for an hour, and we'll try and make it better every week. I'll try and make it as informative as possible. I'll try and make it something you look forward to listening to on Friday evening. And I'll do my best to get back in the saddle again after 2.5 years off. So we will have the phones up next week or week after. And that's an item that, this stuff is not super expensive, but it's not cheap either. This equipment. It's not, okay? But we'll get it and have it available to you, where you can call and offer your opinions and viewpoint, and because I know how important that is. So we'll get that ASAP. One thing I noticed in all the going back and forth here lately with the Epstein mess and ICE and just all of that, people are dragged out from that. It weighs heavy on the minds of a lot of people. There's a pall hanging over the city. There's a pall hanging over this country that only God can deal with. There's a pall hanging over